cooking your food with a single burner hot plate. I guess this is the Avente one. Now, I'm using a Jackery 2000 solar generator to do it, and this I think on the website, or not on the website, but on Amazon. I got this off Amazon. I think it said it takes like 950 watts. And this one here, this is the kind that it'll heat up, and then once it gets heated up to its max, it'll like shut off. This red light will light up when it's heating up, and then it shuts off, and then it'll turn back on when it needs to heat up to its max again. That's the kind of this one. If you have it on full blast or whatever setting, it won't just keep heating. It'll heat up till this is at its level of heat on that level, and it'll shut off, and it'll come back on when this thing starts that gets cooler. This thing will stay hot for a while. What I like about this is once it heats up, you could just shut it off, and your food will keep cooking for a while, because this thing gets real hot. Those other burners, they're like circle, once you shut that off, they cool down quick. This takes a while to cool down. When you shut this off, you gotta let it cool down for like a half hour, at least 10 or 15 minutes. And then I got a little shelf down here I could put it in. Like, that stuff will be moved to the side. This speaker won't be here. I'll put it into that left-hand corner and let it finish cooling down. I'll just keep the cord away from it. And these are my pots and pans. I put them in plastic bags because sometimes I use a gas burner and it gets them all black. But it's not from this. But this works. We got to have a powerful enough solar generator. Like a 500 watt one won't kick this on, even though it's 500 watts. It'll run this for I don't know how many minutes. The first surge that kicks on will not do it. At least the Blue Eddy 500 watt one I got. But this Jackery 2000, probably if you have a 1000 too, it'll work. But I don't know what the surge thing is on this. But with this Jackery 2000, now once this kicks on, 950 watts, it should run it for like 2 hours if the solar generator is fully charged. But what I found out with these solar generators, if you divide, you do the dividing and stuff, how much watts the solar generator has, and depending how much that power bank generator is charged, it doesn't come out like, it's always less than if it says 10 hours, it's always less. It won't be 10 hours from what I saw. And I had this is like my fourth solar generator. What I'm going to show you here. Let's see, I got some things charging. Let's see, if you don't know how these work, this is the output. This is the input. It's cloudy right now. So the solar panels aren't charging. I'm having problems with it cutting in and out charging. I made another video about these Jackery 2000s. Sometimes this one does it, sometimes it don't. But right now I'm only putting out 10 watts. That keeps cutting in and out too. So I'll take 10 off when I turn this on. But if you get the double burner, it's like 1600 watts or 1500 watts. And that'll only be like an hour on this. I don't even run this for 2 hours or an hour. I run it for like, at the most, like 20 minutes. But usually I only run it for like 5 to 10 minutes. Because once this heats up, usually I cook a bunch of food. And I keep it in my 10-day, 7-day ice chest. But usually I can get like 10 days out of it. And I'll just heat it up. I'll throw it in a pan. Sometimes with some water. I'll heat it up. I'll cook a bunch of food. But also this, if I'm boiling something, if I need to boil noodles or rice, I'll turn this on, and even before this light goes out, whether it's all the way hot or not, I'll turn it off and let the rice cook, and I'll turn it back on. Or sometimes with the noodles, like macaroni, I'll just, once I see the noodles start cooking enough, I'll just shut this off and I'll just leave the pan on here. I mean, it'll take longer, and I don't even turn it on back again. But with rice, sometimes I can do that. Other times I'll turn on a little bit and then turn back on. I just let it sit here. And sometimes too, when this gets heated up, especially if your water starts boiling, you shut this off, or you leave your pan on here, it'll start overflowing if you have the lid on it. And even if it's not boiling yet, and you just shut this off, still let it cook, you gotta keep an eye on it. Know how this works, because sometimes it'll start over boiling. But I'll show you right now. I'm gonna hit this button so we can see what's going on. I'm gonna turn this on, and you'll see the wattage on the right there jump. Okay, see, it just jumped up to 947. And it says it'll run it for 1.4 hours. I'm only at 57 charge. Now 1.2 hours. That sounds more like it. I don't even know if I'll run that. And I'll shut this off. You'll see the red lights on. And I'll shut this off. But now if you use this wisely, like if you got like a Jackery 3600 or Jackery 5000 or whatever model, 2000 pretty good. I mean, if I'm having trouble with my solar panels, I got 200 watts. You can check on the video that says Jackery 2000. So this solar generator won't charge as fast if it was working correctly. It keeps cutting in and out. You can see it right now. It's kind of cloudy. Ooh, actually, it's continuing. It's not cutting in and out this time. It's a continuous 20 watt charge because it's cloudy right now, even though they're 200 watt solar panels. But this right here, I gotta move the second one around. Before it was just cutting out. Now it jumped up to 42. I gotta move that around, and or sometimes that second one will work if I move it around, sometimes it won't. But right now, it's at a steady charge. On the left's the solar panel. And these are probably, I'm charging these up. They're probably, yeah, that's fully charged. And this is probably, oh no, this is still charging. It's not showing no output on watts. It should be showing some. Ooh, that second one's working, or just got, yeah, no. But if both my solar panels worked, for these 200 watt solar panels, so they're flexible, lightweight ones. They weigh like 7 pounds each. If they're both working and it's real sunny out, I can get like 380 watts. 350 to 380 watts. And this thing will charge pretty quick, and I can use this more. But since I'm having trouble with charging this Jackery 2000, I mean, I still would use this conservatively, but I gotta use it more conservatively because of this Jackery 2000. This was the cheap one, like $7.99. It's on sale. I think it's first generation, so I don't know the second or third one, but I'm pretty sure the problem is the second. These are where the connectors go in. They got 2 ports, one for each 200 watt solar panel. That's the max for each port. I think 400 watts is the max for solar panels. And I'm pretty sure it's inside here, because I move this around, it'll work. So either I got to open this up and fix it, or get somebody to do it. I don't know if I want to be doing that, because I don't want to damage this thing. This is my second Jackery 2000. The first one, it would always cut in and out charging. Let's see if it's, yeah, it's a steady charge. I mean, cutting in and out. You see where it says 22 input? That would go off to 0, then come back on to 22 input or whatever, depending how much sun's out. And it keep coming on, off and on, charging, so it'd take forever to charge. But even just one 200 watt solar panel which I can get like 180 max if it's real sunny. I mean, this thing will charge up pretty good. But anyways, if you want to, I'll make a video about my MSR liquid gas stove too. But if you use this wisely, you know, me, like I said, I'll cook a bunch of food and I'll have food for like 7 to 10 days that I could just heat up. And there's some other food I'll have to cook sometimes with it. But a lot of times I can just warm up my meat, my rice. I cook up a bunch of meat, rice, and then I use canned beans. I just throw it in a pot and warm it up and make burritos and tacos and stuff. This thing works pretty good. But like I said, if you got a 3600 watt solar generator, 5000 watt solar generator, I mean, this will last a lot longer. Or you might want to get the double burner one. But this one's good because it stays hot a lot, this part, and it'll keep cooking. The other one with the circle things and stuff, you know, once it heats up and then you turn it off, it won't stay hot as this one. You gotta watch this. Like, say if you just cook some food and you gotta take off, and you gotta put this somewhere to cool down in a safe spot. So this, I mean, this was real cheap. I don't know how much it was, but you can find it on Amazon.